To save her deteriorating situation, Meghan continuously used her black mother to attract attention, but still could not change anything. So Meghan, it looks like, is using yet another grifter strategy. She doesn't want to be a divorcee, so this time she decided to pull the racism card. So she's laying out the steps to launch a PR campaign in Africa that looks to me like a tool to cover up the whole African Parks charity scandal. So first of all, Meghan is careful to remind everybody that she's black and she's got a black mother. Okay, Meghan. After disappearing for a little while, Doria keeps on showing up with famous people to try to attract attention for her daughter. After appearing with the Kardashians, now she's been spotted going to an event with Beyoncé's mother, Tina Knowles. Meghan, though, she's only black when it's going to get her the right kind of attention and the right kind of PR, and when she needs to stick it to the royal family. She has not a good relationship with her mother. I mean, her mother left her, abandoned her when she was a little girl. And it seems like she used to hide Doria in the past, but now we keep on seeing Doria. They want to act like they're well connected to A-listers, but they're not. And let's not forget that Beyoncé did speak out in support of Meghan after their interview with Oprah. But it has been a long time since they've really connected, so I'm curious about how many people these days really support Meghan Markle. But trying, I guess, to connect with Hollywood celebs, that's only a part of her scheme. Harry and Meghan are trying to get more attention by hosting an African-American art event, but they're just using it for their PR purposes. Now, it makes me question what is the motive behind that charity event. I don't think it's good that any charity associated with Africa allows the two of them to be showcased with everything happening right now with African Parks Charity. It's not a good look. It's such a pretentious event, too, and it's just all about appearances. I mean, I guess if you've got one drop of black DNA, then you are black, and you're in with anything labeled African. Unless, of course, it comes to actually helping victimized Africans in Africa, and then, oh no. I mean, Harry and Meghan are not actually worried about other people. They don't care about African American art history. They don't care about the Baka people in Africa. I mean, those are the people they should be paying attention to, should be helping, but they don't care. And, Harry's the president of African Parks Charity. Why didn't he say anything about the scandal? He just ignored it. So he's not the president anymore, but still, I'm curious if he got a salary because he was president of African Parks from December of 2017 until the end of October of 2023, when they promoted him to be a member of the board of directors. Honestly, the longer that I pay attention to those two, the more I think that Harry and Meghan are the same. He's just as bad as she is. Meghan just slaps her name on the brand, and she found somebody else to do the work and take responsibility for it. So Harry, in a powerful position, represents an organization, but he doesn't have any responsibility to it. He only benefits from it. So instead of inserting themselves into an art show for wealthy people, how about Meghan and Harry insert themselves into an investigation and resolution of what's happening to the poor Baka people in Africa? Maybe they could actually help the people who need it. There's a thought. They're not doing anything for black people, let's be real here. But now Harry only listens to Meghan, and Meghan is a narcissist, so as always, she is doing this for herself. It's only ever about her. Black people are much better than Meghan Markle is, and I think most black people want nothing to do with her. And how hypocritical are they to put this out while staying silent about the atrocities being committed against the Baka people at the hands of African Parks Charity? Do you notice how Harry and Meghan completely ignore the African Parks scandal? And they're probably never going to go visit Africa again. But of course, they're going to show up at this African art show and act like everything is okay. Attendees should have been outraged, but I guess it was a bunch of people like Meghan and Harry, so they were okay with it. They should be ashamed of themselves. They don't care one iota about the African people, and that is proven by their reaction to the begging of the Baka people. They are begging for them to do something to help them. And Meghan claims to be this feminist who really cares about empowering women, but when it comes to those poor Baka women who have been brutalized at the hands of the African Parks Rangers, she doesn't say a thing. Honestly, the two of them are disgusting. They don't want anybody to talk about it, and as a feminist, Meghan Markle could not distance herself enough from that issue. And Meghan is going to be so excited to talk about the racist artwork in the palace, but there isn't any. I mean, she's going to have no consideration for the artist and the history behind these works. a concert with many people of African descent, and Meghan's mother showed up with Beyonce's mother. So does that mean Beyonce is going to join in too? I don't know. I mean, to be honest, I think we have come to a point where it's time to just write off any celebrity or public figure who gets involved with Harry and Meghan. There's more than enough evidence out there by now to know what those two were all about. They're irresponsible, they're a couple of liars, they're hypocrites, and they're lazy. I don't even think this was a charity event. It looked like it was just a show. I mean, surely a handshake could have been enough. They're just trying to make themselves appear likable because they're hoping that people are going to spread the word, which will mean more money for them. Meghan has always got some attention-grabbing video ready to be released anytime she sees the royal family getting attention, so it's not shocking. This is, after all, Meghan's MO. It's what she's good at, scheming and plotting. That's what she loves more than anything. Harry and Meghan try to go where there actually are powerful, influential people to meet and use to promote their brand. So why are they invited to anything? African Parks is just one example of something Harry manipulated using his mother as his inspiration. Like that little girl who inspired Prince Harry to help Africa's forgotten AIDS victims and launch a charity in his mother's memory. But apparently he forgot all about that. The Daily Mail and a few other UK newspapers published this situation, and Harry still hasn't been held accountable. Right now, that poor little girl, bless her heart, is living with her grandmother in poverty, and she has no hope of attending school. Harry has really shown himself to be a not very good person. I mean, pretty horrible actually, disgusting, and he's not going to do anything about either this or the African Park scandal. He and that nasty witch he married, well, they are such a disgrace. Not a single time have they ever done charity work without making a big fuss. And then there are people out there who really need help, but they don't want to help them, they just ignore them. Honestly, I don't even know that the English language has enough words to describe how awful the two of them are. So maybe they would be better focusing on the humanitarian issues of the people who are still suffering at the hands of African Park's charity rangers. Harry and Meghan are clearly aware of the atrocities that are being committed against the Baka people. They have gotten a letter begging them to help, and then they basically threw it to somebody else. They don't want to have to deal with it. They said, oh, well, yeah, we don't really care. It's not really our problem. Somebody else should help. I find it incredibly hypocritical that Harry and Meghan were involved in this event. Meghan is the nastiest bully ever, and she claims to be the victim of woman-on-woman online hate. And she represented herself as white until she joined the royal family. But now all of a sudden she's an expert on black art history? No. Since it's African art history, why didn't they get an actually successful black person to represent them? Why did they get this white ex-duchess? It doesn't make sense. And we also know why Meghan is trying to pretend like she really cares about art history. It's just to compete with Catherine. Meghan had to be there, of course. She's just such an artist. It's so awful for her that we know Catherine is really interested in art and people don't know about her own interest. Look at Meghan. Look at Meghan. That's all she cares about. Just look at how seriously she views the artwork. She really tries to convince us that she's somebody she's not, but the problem is she can't act. We can see how phony she is. Now, the people who are actual humanitarians are the people who are helping other people because they want to. They don't need to announce it to the whole world. They don't have to let everybody know who they are. Now, those are the real heroes. Anytime a camera is around when doing something good for somebody else, in my opinion, it's called a PR stunt. Meghan called up the press to let them know so that they could be there and she could get attention. So why need to let the world know they reached out in the first place? It doesn't really make sense with their goal of privacy, does it? And I don't blame the royal family for cutting them off completely. I really believe that Harry and Meghan only found out the news that Princess Catherine was diagnosed with cancer when the official announcement came out. And I don't blame the royal family for treating them that way. I mean, Harry and Meghan just have some very negative energy. The less they know about the royals, the better. To a narcissist, external events are there to be used, exploited, including illness of other people. Nobody wants to call their attention, especially in a time of need. Nobody needs their kind around when healing energy and peace are necessary. So it looks to me like Harry and Meghan trying to get more good PR for themselves just means that they're running out of money. an event that obviously was geared toward the very wealthy. And I wonder how much it costs to join. Is it free, affordable? No, of course not. It's a very high price. So then how are they going to calculate the profits? And how much of the care is going to be used for charitable purposes? Remember, all charities Harry and Meghan work with are not transparent in their revenues and their expenditures. And of course, that leads to many questions. And I've also heard the news that Harry and Meghan are apparently going bankrupt. I believe it. Financial problems are something they really need to be focusing on right now. There are even rumors that Harry might be worried about some inheritance issues. Now, in the past, the late Queen had to change her will at the last minute. So is King Charles going to change anything when he sees Harry deteriorating day by day? And I say that because as it stands right now, King Charles is expected to leave everything to the next king. So that's going to be William, just like his mother left everything to him. So this policy lets the royal family avoid paying inheritance taxes. But he does have a personal fortune worth a lot, and he can give that to Harry if he wants to. But does he even consider Harry and Meghan now? I mean, I know that Harry came back to visit his father after his own cancer diagnosis for 12 minutes? And Harry, I think, did that because he knows all about his own financial problems. I mean, especially considering that Meghan is launching this new brand with so many red flags. So I think soon they're going to be experiencing a real crisis if they don't do something. And so I guess this is where the racism card comes into play. Meghan Markle has to pull it. It's so clear. Harry and Meghan never do anything that does not directly benefit them. And whenever necessary, they just go in this fake humane direction. I just wish they understood that their reputation is beyond saving. Everybody understands who they really are, and no one can trust them. We don't trust what they say. We don't trust what they do. I think it was a mistake for Harry and Meghan to pick a performance that featured artists of African descent. This doesn't have a good effect because it reminds everybody of the cruelty of the African Park staff, where a brutal bullying incident happened that neither Harry nor Meghan ever really talked about. Such a shame for Meghan Markle. She's always trying to use her skin tone to get what she wants. But I think the truth is going to prevent this. And you, what do you think about this tactic of Meghan? Please discuss this with us by commenting. If you like our video, please comment and share. Your love is our motivation. If you disagree or have other opinions, don't hesitate to comment to let me know your view. And don't forget to subscribe to receive notifications when the newest videos are updated. We'll be back soon. Thanks for watching and goodbye.